And welcome to another edition of East L.A. Sports Scene, coming back into the studio here at the Boyle Heights Technology and Youth Center, the home of East L.A. Sports Scene for all of our in-studio productions. And we are still talking about football, the never-ending sport, the number one sport in America. And who knows, it could be in the entire world at some point in the future. But for right now, we are just very, very in tune with our high school programs here in East Los Angeles, especially Roosevelt, Torres, and now bringing Garfield here present, front and center. And we're going to meet several of the players, but led in here tonight in place of head coach Lorenzo Hernandez, who had a very, very important job summons that he could not make tonight. But you know what? He said, hey, everything is good, Rico. No sweat. You're going to be speaking to my assistant coach and defensive coordinator, Coach James Wicks, and he is here now with the players. We're going to meet them coming up very, very soon. But Coach Wicks, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, and here you are now doing what you always do. It seems you're supporting the program, supporting Coach Hernandez and this particular role, coming into the spotlight, not so much the spotlight, but the media opportunity to bring the program to the front and also some of the players. So we thank you for coming tonight, bringing the kids, Coach.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, let's start, Coach, with your personal resume. You've been at Garfield quite a while now. Let's talk about that. Where did you start, and perhaps as a young player yourself, how you really got that passion going for the game?
Well, I've been playing football all my life.
Okay.
So the passion has always been there.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't found anything that can take the place or fill in the void of football.
Okay.
So, but I've been at Garfield since 1998.
Okay.
I started off as the frost-off defensive back coach my first year. And then the next 2 years after that, I was the frost-off defensive coordinator.
Ah.
And then we moved up to varsity. Coach Hernandez and I moved up to varsity together in the year 2001.
Okay. Wow.
And I was been there since 2001.
Okay. A little bit even before coming into the coaching position, Coach, you were a player.
Yes.
And were you in college and then possibly semi-pro or
no,
level?
didn't do any semi-pro.
Okay.
I did do college.
Okay.
I played started off at El Camino Junior College.
Okay.
And then I went to Cal State Northridge
Yes.
as a defensive back.
Okay.
And finished my career there.
Okay. And it was talking about your degree. I'm sure you come out of Cal State Northridge with a degree.
Yes. I got my AA degree in general education from El Camino.
Mm-hmm.
I got my BA degree from Cal State Northridge. And I got my master's degree in special education.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
And lo and behold, it's a great academic package, a good career package to be a teacher.
Yes.
And
Well, that's why I got into teaching because of coaching. Coaching led me into teaching. It wasn't the other way around. I knew I wanted to coach, and when I first got to Garfield, I was a volunteer coach, volunteering, and it was something that I had a passion about. And I asked, how can I do this for a living? And then they said I should get into teaching, so I did.
Okay, and it's been quite a career and quite a ride.
Yes, quite a career, quite a ride, a lot of ups and downs, but the main thing is seeing the players go from boys to men.
Yes.
And seeing them come back productive members of the community.
Okay.
And just directing and shaping young men. I think that's the most I get out of it.
Yes.
That's the number one thing I get out of it.
Critical time.
More than any win, any loss is watching these guys turn into men and seeing how we develop them.
And the lessons learned both on the field and off the field.
And the
as
lessons
well.
goes both ways.
Yes.
We learn from them. As long as you keep your mind and your heart open, you can learn from them as well. And obviously they learn from us.
Coach, let's talk a little bit about the academics because we're going to also speak to the players, of course, and
Yes,
get their enrollment program that they're in at school. But the schools in the city system are changing. We've seen Torres come up with 5 different schools and type of academy set up now. Is Garfield also in that vein?
Yes, we have small schools. I myself, I'm a part of UPP, University Preparatory Program.
Okay.
That's one of the top SLCs, smaller learning communities at our school. And we have global studies, we have humanitas, and we have Kappa, which is a a performing arts program.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have the computer science magnet program, which is
Okay.
some of our kids
Oh.
are part of that.
Yeah, and the magnet seems to be a good attraction for
Yes,
the players and
yes.
athletes.
Yes,
Students.
it's a way that because that program is not offered at many schools.
Mhm.
If a young man or woman would like to be a part of that program, it's a way they could come to Garfield and be a part of the program.
And I'm sure if Coach Hernandez were here, we're
Mm-hmm.
going to catch up to him at some point between now and when camp starts and
Okay,
school
no-
starts. But
no
I'm
problem.
sure he would say academics to stress 24/7. As much as the athletics, the academics.
If it was more time than 24/7, it would be stressed more.
Okay.
We stress academics every year. It's the number one thing. Nothing, and I'll explain to the kids today and before today, nothing matters. The weight room doesn't matter. The conditioning doesn't matter. Nothing matters if you don't have the grades,
Mhm.
if you're not eligible. We've taken it a step farther at Garfield by hiring a academic counselor strictly for our football players.
Okay.
And he has everything broken down by grade level.
Okay.
9th graders, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade,
Great.
and everything they need to do for each grade level. You know, so all the
Wonderful.
9th graders need to have their A through G requirements as far as knowing what they need to take. 10th graders have to do the PSAT.
Yes.
11th graders SAT, get ready for college, everything. So we've taken to a whole different level. Our players have about an hour and 20 to 35 minutes a day of study hall.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They have their lunchtime study hall, which is about 20 minutes, and it doesn't seem like it's a lot of time, but it is. The way it's structured, we have it broken down into subject areas. So all those that are in in study hall for English are over here,
Okay.
math over here, history,
Okay.
science, and we also have tutors in there
Yeah,
that
nice.
our academic advisor has brought in tutors, the top students in the math and English programs, and they tutor our football players
Okay.
every day during lunch, except for
Wonderful.
Mondays. Not Mondays because they need that day to get their assignments,
Okay.
but Tuesday through Friday.
Okay.
They have study hall, they have weight room,
Mhm.
and then after weight room, they have an hour of study hall.
Okay.
So they have study hall twice a day. So we really stress academics.
As you said, Coach, that could be a whole chapter in itself, the
Yes.
academics. However, in the interest of time, now that we know that portfolio is tight
Yes, sir.
for academics,
Yes, sir.
now here steps up or comes into the program
Yes, sir.
your young 9th grade, 10th grade
Mhm.
players, and you mold them.
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about Bulldog tradition. How does a youngster or a 9th grader, 10th grader even, come into Garfield with the coaching staff and Coach Hernandez and then get acclimated as smoothly as possible?
Well, they first, we don't make any cuts for our JV team.
Okay.
So any kid that would like to play,
Wow.
as long as they choose Garfield as the school they would like to attend, the zone of choice, they can come. We make it available to the middle schools when we have our workouts,
Okay.
so they can come. And all they have to do is say, I want to play football for Garfield.
Okay.
We accept it with open arms. All of our players understand that they started in the same place, and it could be intimidating when you first get there.
Sure.
And everybody treats everybody with respect,
Okay.
and so we just welcome them in.
Okay. So by the first year, acclimation, second year, if they can make varsity, they'll move up
Yes,
and then stay in the program till they
Yes.
graduate.
two of the players you'll be seeing today
Okay.
are 4-year varsity players.
Ah.
They never played JV.
Oh.
They
Very
played
good.
varsity since their freshman year.
Okay.
One of them started
Mm-hmm.
his freshman year and has continued to start it for us all the way through.
Okay.
So yes, actually, right now, last year we had a 9th grader to play varsity. Didn't do
Okay.
any JV at all.
All right.
You know, so
Okay.
Mhm.
Coach, in the interest of time, now here's what we're going to do before
Okay.
we take our first break. We're going to go and recap 2013.
yes, sir.
Okay. An outstanding season again.
Yes, sir.
Also some accolades and some awards to the players that we're going to be meeting tonight.
Yes, sir.
And then also your review, just briefly, but we're going to, at the end, also go back and look at the schedule for 2014. But
Yes, sir.
if you can just tell us about the recap and then the preview.
Well, obviously, we try to schedule a tough preseason.
Okay.
We want every game that we play to be tougher than any game in our league.
Okay.
Except for last year, there was one exception, but that game was scheduled for a different reason. But generally speaking, since about 2009, we want our players to be ready for league. We want league to be the easy part of the schedule. I personally look at our schedule in 3 different segments: preseason, league, playoffs.
Yes.
And we really want to have a tough preseason, and that has not worked out so well at times, and it's worked out very well at times. Sometimes we go through a tough preseason, and we're not at 100% health-wise by the time we get to the league, and that has cost us and hurt us before.
Okay.
But as far as anything that we're going to see, we know that we've seen as physical, as fast, or as quick, or as athletic, and it really prepares us well for our league play.
Okay.
Mhm.
2013,
Yes, sir.
to the playoffs you went,
Yes, sir.
and Eastern League champions.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The Classic was also there for you to claim as a win.
Yes, sir.
As well. But a lot to build on from 2013.
Yes, sir.
Very successful, as we mentioned, recapping that. But you're Coach Hernandez and the staff. You don't settle on past laurels. You want to keep moving the program forward and upward and above.
Yes, this year is a little bit difficult in a sense that we really thought we had a victory against Carson to go to the semifinals. That loss has really kind of motivated our preseason this year. So it still has a bad taste in our mouth to lose the game the way that we did in the last few seconds after being up 17-14. So, but that's been our driving force this offseason right here.
Okay, so the work is there. The
Most
mission
definitely.
has
Most
been
definitely.
launched.
We wanna
Okay,
finish.
we're speaking now with assistant coach and defensive coordinator James Wicks, and what we're going to do now is take a quick break and get ready to introduce the 4 players that are here with us, and we're going to start in just a moment after this break. I'll give you their names now. Tyjon Delancy, Cleo Session Jr., Frankli Robles, and Frank Saucedo. So when we come back, we meet the players in just a moment. This is East L.A. Sports Scene. And welcome back, and here we go with the introduction of our players here. Number 1, right off the bat, Tyjon Delancy, and he laid claim to All-City, All-Eastern League, and first team on offense for the All-City accolade and the awards, and it's our pleasure to welcome to the studio, Tyjon Delancy. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Okay,
You?
that's pretty good. Thank you. Let's hold it right there. You go.
right,
Okay.
yeah.
Now you're in business. Tyjon, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine. Come to check out with you and the coach, staff, and my boys. Talk about how we been.
All right. Let's get into very quickly your career at Garfield. You have to move on, but you made your mark, as they say. You put your blueprint, your stamp of approval on your career at Garfield. Let's talk about what it meant to you and where you're going to be going next season.
Well, the stamp that I didn't put on my stamp my sophomore year or my junior year because when I was in, I wasn't doing much. But I told myself when I finally, my senior year, I'm going to do something, and that's what I did last year, upcoming season.
Okay. But again, sitting down with your family, sitting down with the coaches, your teachers, your mentors, and those people that influence you, you guys made a decision, and you made that objective, and you accomplished that goal.
Yes,
Talk
sir.
about now looking back at your career at Garfield and what it means when you walk down and get your degree or your diploma and then move on into college.
Well, first off, college, I'm waiting on to be cleared for the NCAA.
Okay.
But I've been talking to Colorado and Fresno State. But if I don't
Okay.
get cleared in time, I'll be heading to El Camino where my coach went
Okay.
and try to transfer from there.
Okay. Now, in terms of the recruitment, it's on. Okay, this is the time right now where, as you mentioned, Pac-12 schools, it could be SEC school, anybody that has an opportunity to talk to you, sure will come through and talk with Coach Hernandez and the coaches and either ask you to come and learn more about that school. Has there been any other colleges that are interested in you?
Lincoln came down.
Who's that?
Lincoln University.
Okay. Oh, yes. And excuse me, I didn't mean to cut you off, but at Division 1, 2, and 3, it could be any level that
Yes, sir.
can offer you that scholarship, correct?
Sir.
Okay. And your thoughts on that, preparing in the event that you might go into Division 2 or 3 even?
I'm willing to go wherever, whoever's willing to pay for the education. That's what they say most important. That's what it is.
Okay.
Football is just going to come.
Okay.
Like, whatever school I go, I wouldn't mind being a walk-on
Okay.
or just doing it.
Tell us now the coaching that you received at Garfield, the big difference that made you the player that you are now from when you first came, that got you into that mindset, physical capabilities, and just knowing that you could produce on that field. What did the coaches do with you and for you?
First of all, what they installed in my mindset was no days off.
Oh, okay.
You come in, give it your all, work hard, and compete. That
Okay.
was the main thing, compete.
Mhm.
Even if you're an underclassman, you still get a chance to compete. Like he said, Cleo, he came in and competed as a freshman. He got a
Mhm.
starting position. Somewhere on the field, they're going to find a spot for you. So you
Okay.
just got to compete.
Okay. And let's talk a little bit now about in the off season. Just recently, there was an All-Star game, the Intercity All-Star Classic, and you played a big role in that. Talk about that game that just happened this past weekend.
The NC All City Classic, it came up down to the fourth quarter. We was up by 4. The East team was going into the end zone. They was on the 20-yard line with
Mhm.
20 seconds left,
Mm-hmm.
and they threw a fade to my side and an interception. They took it 80 yards.
Oh, okay. And
Saved
that,
the game.
yeah, and that game was played at Crenshaw High School, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's talk about quickly here to move through our profile of you. The biggest highlight of your playing career at Garfield.
Oh, my game against Southgate.
Okay. That was this past season.
Yes, sir.
And tell us about it. What happened there?
That game, it was just we scored, they score, we scored, they score, and coach said we got to do something, and I just started going off.
Okay.
It's just like a twitch.
And the total number of touchdowns you scored that day?
6.
6. Okay. We got to look in the record book for that, possibly. Okay. And then Tyjon, any the academics or the athletic awards you received?
I just recently received a scholarship from the Costa program,
Okay.
and Wells Fargo also gave me a scholarship from academics. So
Okay.
we're
Okay.
just getting there.
All right. And then also your athletic awards on the field that you received,
Most
in addition to the
valuable-
All-City first team.
Most valuable player of the league
Okay.
and first team All City.
All right. Now, there has to be a driving force in your life. So I asked one of the questions here is, well, who's the biggest mentor? Who's the biggest influencer that had the impact on you?
The biggest person that had the biggest impact is my father.
Okay.
The reason why is because everything I've been able to do is because of him.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, put the clothes on my back, from feeding me, from wherever I need it, I can go to him and it will be done
Okay.
by him. So yes, my father.
Okay. Good home, work ethic, family values, and of course discipline. Okay. Let me ask a question here from Coach to Coach Wicks here about Tyjon.
Okay.
Just the impact that he had for the Bulldogs the years he was there.
Tyjon is a very special person. He is someone that you love to have on your team.
Mm-hmm.
He's someone that you love on Friday nights,
Okay.
and he's a jokester the rest of the week. So
Okay.
he's, he could be frustrating to be around the rest of the week, but on Friday you darn glad that he's on your team.
Okay.
Very exciting, very instinctive. Half the time the people blocking for him don't know where he is.
Oh.
The defense don't know where he's at,
Yeah.
where he is. The offense doesn't know where he is. And just incredible highlights that I'll remember forever.
Okay.
I'm just glad I became a fan as well as a coach. You know, I coach defense, so
Yeah.
I could watch him on offense and enjoy him as a player.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Tyjon, come on back with the microphone here because we're going to go into a little bit about your educational and career goals. You already mentioned that you want to get to college and play.
Yes, sir.
And should you get to a Fresno State or to a Colorado, do you have an idea of the degree you might pursue?
Kinesiology.
Oh, kinesiology. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Coming down with the rest of our favorites list, some of your favorite teams, college or pro.
Oh, Dallas Cowboys.
Okay. All right. Anybody else in NC2A?
Oregon.
Okay.
Oregon University.
All right. Favorite players?
Des Bryant,
All right.
receiver from Cowboys.
Okay, now into the social side of things. When you're not on the field, when you're not in the classroom, we all have to de-stress, or as they say, relax. So some of the things, the music and the movies, some of your favorites in those areas.
My favorite movie is Friday After Next.
Okay,
What else? The Boys in the Hood.
okay. And the music on game day, you've got your headphones you're listening to.
Rich Homie Quan, he's just coming out.
Okay.
So not too many people probably know about him.
Okay.
But that's why I like. He's
Okay.
relaxing.
And some other artists you have in mind?
Lil Snoop,
Okay.
who passed away recently.
Oh, okay.
So I can't listen to him no more, but I can still listen to him.
Oh, whatever's been recorded, you find that, of course.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and let's see here. Your academics, a favorite class, and the school that you enrolled at Garfield.
Oh, I'm enrolled in Magnet when I first started off.
Okay.
My favorite class, I have multiple. I love English. So besides the like I said, the major kinesiology, I'm trying to do social.
Okay.
So I can get to speak
Okay.
with people, like broadcasting what you're doing here.
Okay. Right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. On this is going to kind of wrap things up with our first guest here, Tyjon Delancy, and he was a huge asset to Coach Hernandez and the Garfield Bulldogs. And last question, Tyjon, the significance of playing in the Classic. Not too many high school players in the country can lay the claim that they played in front of 20,000 fans, or the games were just out of this world, and it was a community event. But your impression of having played in the Classic?
Well, first off, it's ecstatic. I'm telling you, when you just look up when you're walking out of the tunnel, you're like, whoa.
Okay.
But for some reason, when you get on the field, it's just game on. You just do whatever happens, and when it happens, everybody there to see you.
Okay. Last words from Tyjon Delancy. He's going to come back at the end when we wrap things up. But Tyjon, you got a chance to look in the camera and look and say or speak to a youngster out there that has seen you on East L.A. Sports Scene in our games of the week and has followed your career and sees you now not as a towering, a big menacing player, but a player with smaller size but tremendous heart. What do you say to those types of players that are in that crease, that want to do more, but they need the guidance? Speak to that.
Well, a lot of people gonna say you can't do it. That doesn't mean anything, because you see what I have accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
I accomplished big things such as MVP of the league, and many people didn't think I can do it, but I just kept on pushing, and the coaches pushed me even more. So long as you just got it in your heart that you can do it, you can do it. I'm just telling you, you could.
Okay. All right. There he is, Tyjon Delancy. You heard it directly from him, a chance to meet him up close and personal. We wish him the best, and wherever you go, Tyjon, good luck to you, and God bless.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's going to do it for our first player here from the Garfield Bulldogs. They had a huge season last year, and they are coming back for more. We're going to be right back with our second player, Cleo Session Jr. Don't go away. This is East L.A. Sports Scene. And here we are back in studio with our second player here from the Garfield Bulldogs, the Eastern League Conference champions, also the winners of last year's Classic. And it's our pleasure and good fortune to bring to our viewers and East LA Sports Scene, Cleo Session Jr. Cleo, how are you?
How you doing, sir?
Good. Good to see you again. How things going?
Doing good, sir. And you?
Oh, doing well, doing well. Thanks for coming. This is a great opportunity for our viewers to really get inside Bulldog football and find out what is going on. And we want to, first of all, acknowledge you for being on the All-City team, okay? And let's talk about where you were when Coach Hernandez gave you that big honor.
Well, I wasn't really like all big and whatnot. When I was in Pop Warner, Coach Hernandez found me.
Mm-hmm.
He seen that I was a quarterback. I wasn't really a defensive player.
Okay.
But when I came to Garfield, for some reason, my instincts was like, I am a defensive player. I love defense. So
Okay.
as a safety, I just pushed myself. Like, favorite player was Taylor Mays, and I just watched him and
Mm-hmm.
took everything that he did and put it on the field.
Okay, and you excelled on both sides of the ball. We've seen that, but safety, that's where the accolade came.
Yes, sir.
Okay, when the coaches met and they said we're picking the All-City teams, Cleo Session Jr. was right there representing Garfield as safety. Now, Cleo, let's talk about last season because you have one more to go. You're
Yes, sir.
only a junior,
Yes, sir.
so a lot of experience, a lot of leadership now is going to be put on you by Coach Hernandez and Coach Wicks. But let's talk about 2013 and then the crystal ball for 2014.
2013 was a fun season for me, especially playing with Tyjon Delancy. He's the most exciting guy to play with, and that team was just like my team that I came in with my freshman year. So it was like I just built a bond with them like brothers. So
Okay.
just have fun playing with those guys.
Okay. Now, got to ask Coach Wicks here a question because defense is his forte.
Yes, sir.
and
That's
Coach, from your perspective, when you guys were evaluating
Uh-huh.
and the team workouts and team, just putting the team together, the abilities and skills that Cleo had.
Well, like Cleo said, he started for us since his freshman year. His freshman year, he was the best open field tackler that I've had since I've been there
Okay.
at the safety position, and that's the last line of defense, and that's very important. So that got him on the field. Again, he's very instinctive, very athletic. We like for our safeties to be able to cover half the field. He can do that. He can play free safety. He can play strong safety in the box like a linebacker. Sometimes he has played linebacker. He's very versatile. He can play zone. He can play man. He could do it all.
Okay. And coverage in key games. You had to look to Cleo to shut people down, correct?
Yes. Had to look for Cleo to shut people down. Some teams got smart, and I'm not going to say what they did, but some teams got smart.
Okay.
And but yes, but him playing both ways, you can't always depend on him because he does need a breather every now and then.
Yeah.
So you have to have other guys ready to go also.
Okay. All right. Cleo, back with the mic for you. And let's continue on now for 2014. You're going to be a senior. As I mentioned, the word leadership. Anything in the coaches' discussions yet with you as to where you're going to be put in terms of the team leadership?
Well, this is my senior year, and I'm like one of the main captains on the team, so I have to step up to the plate and be a leader and lead the team to championship.
Okay. And right now, let's talk a little bit about what Bulldogs, what they've been doing in the program. Was there a spring practice is just about done or is over now?
We're just starting spring practice.
Okay.
We just started yesterday.
Okay, so you'll be doing that, right?
Yes, sir.
A lot of weight room. Okay. Of course, academics. You
Yes, sir.
got to stay with that. And anything else that you guys you're doing maybe personally to get better?
On the weekends, I do an extra little workout by myself, or I have like a little team that I play on, and they give me a lot of feet work drills and a lot of hand drills. Catch like 100 balls a day and stuff like that. Speed work.
Okay. As I mentioned, the work never ends. The preparation never ends in football, correct?
Sir.
Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about in school, you're in the role of the magnet.
Yes, sir.
At the Garfield. And the favorite classes you have or
Yes,
subjects?
sir. My favorite class in Magnet is English and chemistry.
Okay.
I like chemistry because it's a fun experience. You do a lot of experiments and you get to learn a lot of new stuff.
Okay. And as Coach Wicks said, lots of tutoring, lots of homeroom, not so much homeroom, but study hall, because you'll be thinking about where you want to go.
Yes, sir.
Any thoughts yet about where you might want to, after you graduate from high school, where you might want to go in college?
Well, the college that I want to attend is the University of Southern California,
Okay.
but I have a lot of other colleges that's looking, so it's still a lot.
Okay. And again, they go hand in hand, academics and, of course, athletics. Now, continue on with some of the awards. Other than, say, the All-City, was there something else that came up for you?
I got all Eastern League wide receiver, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. And that was first team All-Eastern League, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in the mix of everything in terms of being a young teenager, a young player, the people that had impact, the influencers.
The main person that had an impact in my life is my father. Like, he pushes me hard every day. He gets up in the morning with me. He works out with me. Like, he pushes me hard. Like, everything he sees me do, he does. So that pushes me hard to do it.
Okay. And when it's not dad, is there maybe an uncle or a cousin, somebody else in the family constellation that helps you?
My mom.
Oh, okay. That's a great combination, mom and dad. Okay, now educational and some career goals. Let's talk about those.
Well,
I know you mentioned SC is one of the schools, but anything in addition to that?
Before I leave high school, I want to maintain a 4.0 GPA.
Ah.
So I can so it can be smooth during college and I can have a good college.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the career. You're only a junior, but let's give us a highlight. Give us a highlight of either last season or the year before.
Well, I think the best season that I had was my freshman year. It was a fun experience, a lot of flying around, a lot of physical stuff. So that got me more like, since they're physical, I could be physical as well.
All right. And then last season during Eastern League, any one game that stood out? A game decider, a game winner, some play?
I don't know about the Eastern League, probably playoffs.
Okay.
But I don't really have any that was in the Eastern League.
Was there a pick six or maybe?
Well, pick six that I had against Bell.
Oh, okay. Sure. All right.
Which basically sealed the deal against Bell.
Okay. I got to ask you the same question I asked your teammate, classmate, Tyjon. The feeling you have in that tunnel, getting ready to go to the Classic.
Well, coming down from the Classic, it's just like you just hear everybody screaming. And when you just look, and it's like, whoa. And then when you step on the field, it's like you can't hear anything. It's no nothing. It's just you play football and you're in your zone.
Okay. And right now you have a winning record, undefeated record against the Rough Riders, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's talk about some of the favorites. We're going to get into that category here because, as I mentioned, football and school are two distinct things that we do. We love them with a passion, but when you're not doing those, so that's why I included, kind of let the people know what you do to relax. So music, movies or things of that nature. What's some of your favorites?
My favorite movie is Friday, and my favorite music artist is Drake.
Okay.
So it gives a lot of motivation.
Okay. All right. And let's see. We have also, you mentioned, in addition to Drake, there's a couple of new artists.
A new artist, which is Rich Homie Quan,
Okay.
is motivational too.
All right. And your actors, you got here two good ones.
Two funny actors, which is Kevin Hart and Chris Tucker.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the tools of the trade in football. Favorite pros or favorite college players or teams?
Well, my favorite college player is Robert Woods,
Mm-hmm.
which is in the NFL now.
Okay.
And my favorite NFL team is the San Diego Chargers.
Okay. And we also see a drafted player from the SC also in Sarah High School.
Drafted this year, which is Marquise Lee.
Okay. All right. I think we've pretty much covered your player profile here, Cleo, but give you also a chance to look into the camera there and some words of advice, some words of wisdom to youngsters that are following you on East L.A. sports scene.
Well, get your grades now. Start ninth grade, get your grades, keep your grades up, and that'll leave you smooth through high school and college.
Okay, back to Coach Wicks here just for a quick second before we wrap this session up. But, Coach, you got another, as they said, diamond in the rough or tried and true veteran
Yes.
who's going to step up and play a big role. If we can ask
Yes.
you as a coach for defense, the designs that you have for Cleo.
I just talked to, I believe, yesterday, and I told him that I'm going to blitz him a lot more
Okay.
this year. He's such a great athlete. I don't want to just have him do one thing. I want to put him all over the place. I want to use him. I want the offense to look for him, see where he is. Is he coming off the edge? Does he start from the back, roll up? Does he start from the front, roll back?
Okay.
So him and another player we meet later
Okay.
are two of our versatile players that we can move around. I don't want to just lock him in at safety.
Mhm.
I want to really make him more versatile this year.
And fly all over the field. It's like Superman.
That's what he does.
Okay. All right. That will do it for this session, meeting our second player up close and personal, Cleo Session Jr. And we're glad that he was able to make the trip down here to East L.A. Sports Scene and our studios here at the Boyle Heights Technology and Youth Center. We'll be back with our third player coming up in just a moment, and that will be Mr. Frankli Robles. Don't go away. This is East L.A. Sports Scene. And welcome back now as we meet our third player here out of four. And that's Mr. Frankli Robles, and he will be playing fullback and spend a little time on the defensive side as a tackle. But nonetheless, it's our great distinction to bring in Frankli Robles and welcome you to East L.A. Sports Scene. How you doing, Frankie?
I'm doing good, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for coming. And let's get into Bulldog football, but also the opportunity to speak about you as a student athlete, and of course you're a member of the community as well. But Frankie, let's talk about the attraction to Garfield. What made it all happen? Coach Hernandez and the rest of the coaches must have seen you, spoken to you when you came on campus and said, hey, come on out and try out for the team.
Well, the first time I started playing football was at middle school,
Okay.
and I started as flag football. And
Okay.
one of the coaches saw me playing, and he said, hey, come and try Garfield, see how it is. So I tried it and loved it
Okay.
and stayed.
Okay. And once you were accepted, of course, indoctrination to the program.
Right.
Okay. And talk about how that transition worked for you.
Well, since I'm not from East L.A., there were some opportunities which Magna gave me.
Okay.
Magna gave me free transportation and free transportation back.
Okay.
So, and I accepted it because it was good.
Okay, and that's very critical to know that you have to have all your needs met. So
Right.
I'm sure your parents talked about it, and vice versa. You discussed it with them. Yeah. Okay.
We did.
All right. Now let's talk about the fact that you are now in the program. When did it become apparent that you were going to either play fullback or tackle, or what position? How did that enter the picture?
At first, my coach wanted me to play DB,
Oh, okay.
but another coach saw that I was good at another position,
Mm.
which was DN and D tackle. So he kept me there until my sophomore year. I started playing fullback, and my coaches saw that I was able to get the job done.
Okay. All right. And as you mentioned, Magnet, that's a pretty good academy to be in at Garfield.
Yep, it is.
Okay. And talk about the favorite class or subject.
Video production is my favorite class.
Oh, okay. And that could be huge. It's very big.
It can.
Any specialty that within that, movies or cinema, sports?
Well, the good thing about it is that you could put your feeling in a movie,
Mm.
and
Okay.
you put it your way and the way you want it to look.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Coach Wicks, let me pass the microphone over to you now and talk about the incorporation and the transition for Frankie here at Garfield. The hand that you play, or the role that you played.
Well, the role that I played, what frankly came to me, I believe, after his sophomore year, and he hadn't played varsity yet, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And he asked me, he said, "Coach, just wondering, what should I go to the NFL as, a linebacker or a lineman?"
Oh.
And I said, "Well, frankly, let's worry about varsity first." So, before we start talking about the NFL.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, this guy's way too short to even be considered, for NFL or anything like that. But then I got to watch him play and see how strong he is. He's the strongest person on the team.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And stronger than the coaches and stronger than everyone else. And he's just a physical beast.
Mm.
He's very imposing player,
Uh-huh.
very quick, and just incredibly strong. And
Okay.
he, against Carson, he almost went to final 96 yards by himself, just play after play, and they couldn't stop him.
Oh.
Couldn't stop it. And
Wow.
I think this guy's going to be unstoppable this year.
You want him on your team.
Got to have him on your team. Got to. It's not a want. It's a must. Got to have him on our team.
Now, Frankie, let's come back to you now because as we continue to learn a little bit more about you in the brief time that we have, let's talk about the influencers, mentors, key people, family, anyone that maybe has sat down with you and you've opened up and said, "Hey, let's talk about my future." Anybody in particular come to mind?
My parents.
Okay.
My mom is the one that usually it's always helping me with school problems and personal problems. My dad, a man who's teaching me how to be a man in the real
Yes.
world, and
Great.
teaching me how to be responsible and how not to quit school and keep doing what I'm doing.
Okay. And sometimes maybe beyond, is there a teacher, maybe a coach, or someone in your group that maybe you also can sound off on or speak to at times?
Yeah, I speak
Okay.
to my coaches all the time about my decisions,
Okay.
what to do and what not to do, or what do you think about this or that.
Okay. And that's without any problems. You can open
Yeah.
up at any time to the coaches. And that's great. That's what Coach Wicks was saying, that it's a family. It's a tradition there
It
at
is.
Garfield. Okay. Awards. Let's talk about some academic maybe or some athletic.
I won a back of the year last year in second team all league.
Okay. Back of the year, meaning in the team, it's structure itself for Garfield. Okay. And then also, was there something in the league? Second team
Second team all league.
on offense?
Offense.
Okay. All right. And let's talk about your education and some career goals there, Frank.
Well, my goal right now is to get at least a 4.0 in order to assist the top colleges or universities.
Okay. Okay. And then right now, being in a good position as a junior, you can build up that academic profile even higher, and then even after the season next year, abilities to be able to speak to some of the coaches or recruiters.
Right.
Okay. And have you thought about that? Does that pop up in your mind how that might go?
I'm not really sure, but I'm just doing, I'm just trying to do what I'm good at
Mm-hmm.
and focus at my stuff, school, football. Hopefully later on in the future,
Okay.
I'll get something on.
Okay. And let's talk about the biggest highlight as a Bulldog.
My biggest highlight would be versus Southgate. That was
Okay.
the longest run I had.
All right. You can tell us how much now. The longest 50 plus yard.
Longest 55.
Okay. All right. And that resulted in a big win.
Of course, yes, it did.
Okay. Now, same question because I know there's other high school players around the country that would beg to be suited up and in that tunnel. Now, whether they played or not, that's a different story, but to be in that moment of the Classic, your thoughts on that? Describe those for us.
I would say that's just another job that needs to get done.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because what matters is the playoff games.
Okay. All right. And the adrenaline, the emotion,
Oh, yes.
the team, just really, really,
Well, it
everything
feels-
goes off Richter, so they say, right?
Yes. Feels good coming out of that tunnel, especially where there's like 25,000 people watching you. You could shine.
And it's a great opportunity not only for the players, but schools, but for the community, because so many people come out to enjoy it. Your thoughts on playing in that for, even neighbors or family and friends that come out to watch you? Any particular feeling about that?
Feels good that you're probably one of the first one in the family to be able to walk through that tunnel.
There you go. Those are the kinds of answers I was looking for, because it's inside of you.
Right.
Unless you come out and tell us, no one will know. So that's got to be a very, very good feeling. Now, let's go in now, Frankie, to your favorite lists. As I mentioned, talk to your teammates when you're not on the field and you're not studying. Some things you do to, as they say, socialize and relax.
Most of my times that I'm off, I spend it with my family and probably put in extra work or, stay home and rest because, we all need to rest.
Sure, of course. And to relax, you got to enjoy
course.
other things as well. But let's talk about when you want to go out to that movie on a Saturday night.
I love watching Marvels and comedies, and my favorite are cartoons because, it's great seeing cartoons,
No, sure. That's a favorite.
Right.
Many people watch those and continue to those be the biggest Disney movies of all time, as you can name anyone that's out right now. Let's talk about some of the teams, college or pro, favorites.
For the pros, the Bears are my favorite team, and for college, USC.
Okay, any players on those teams that you follow?
Yeah. One of them would be Marquise Lee from USC and Erlach.
Okay. And then also some of the players. You've listed here a couple of that we haven't seen yet. But
my favorite players are Darren Sproles and Ray Lewis.
Okay. And let's talk about the music genre that you like to listen to. Maybe on game day, you're listening very intently and relaxing?
On game days, I really don't listen to anything, but my favorite musics are the 80s and hip-hop.
Okay. And some of your favorite artists? Music artists or actors?
Ice Cube and Jennifer Connelly.
All right. Okay. Let's see. There's just maybe one other thing I wanted to ask Coach about you, if you don't mind giving the microphone back to Coach Wicks here. 2014.
Yes.
Just right around the corner.
Yes.
The plans for Frankie.
Well, our whole team was young last year, and we really made it far. So this year, for Frankli, is going to be the defensive coaches and the offensive coaches fighting over him. When is he going to rest? Because we need him on defense as well. He's, like I say, strongest person on the team, so naturally he's our strongest defensive lineman. And, offensive need him to be fresh. And so it's going to be a tug of war between me and the offensive coaches. But I understand that he's our fullback first.
Okay.
And we'll try to do the best we can defensively without him. And when we need him, coaches understand special circumstances, he has to be on defense.
Okay. And he'll step up, I'm sure he will.
He was our leading sack total person on the team last year. So, yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, back to Frankli here. And Frankli, the parting shot here, chance to talk to some youngsters out there that are watching you as we speak. Okay?
Yeah, just don't give up. Don't let nobody tell you you can't do it because size don't matter. Size of your heart does. Keep pushing that extra yards, and school is very important. You quit on school is like quitting on your life.
Okay. All right. There you have it. Frankli Robles, he's been our third player we've met up close and personal from the Garfield Bulldogs. And again, for our viewers, we had to excuse Coach Lorenzo Hernandez due to a job-related emergency that came up, and nonetheless, capable hands of his assistant coach, Coach Wicks, right here taking over the reins here and bringing the players to us here at East L.A. Sports Scene. We're going to be back with the fourth and final player here in just a moment, and that's going to be Frank Saucedo. Don't go away. East L.A. Sports Scene coming right back. Okay, welcome back, and thanks for watching. This will now be our fourth and final player here from the Garfield Bulldogs, ready for the 2014 season. Played a prominent part in last season, 2013, and it's our privilege to bring to you our viewers, Frank Saucedo. Frank, how are you?
I'm great, and how are you, sir?
I'm doing well, doing well. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're more than welcome, and thanks to Coach Wicks, Coach Hernandez for agreeing to have the team come on down and represent
Yes,
not
sir.
only Garfield and the program, the school, but yourselves, and just make it an informational situation here for our viewers to know more about Garfield. And as you know, football is very much king in our community.
Yes,
But
sir.
Frank, you got to be very proud being a Bulldog here your entire career. And let's talk about that attraction. What was a magnet? What unified you or linked you right into Garfield? Talk about that.
You know, the magnet program was a big part of
Okay.
me getting to Garfield, and what won me over was the classic, seeing the experiencing it, going to two classics,
Okay.
and experience how the atmosphere and the pride that the student body and the community alone has for that game.
Okay.
It's nothing like no other high school game, or
True. True that.
it's just amazing.
Okay.
So that's really what won me over.
Electricity, environment, ability to be on that big stage at a high school level, and that's hard. Not even colleges can lay claim to the fact that they play in front of 20,000 people on an annual basis. But there we have the first piece of the puzzle, meaning your academics and the magnet attracted you. But as a player, did you come from, say, the Pop Warner program or
I came from
middle school program?
I came from the East L.A. Bobcats.
Ah,
So
Okay.
I was in the neighborhood and the community,
okay.
and Garfield was everybody knows who Garfield is, and
Sure.
but Classic was what really won me over to get me there.
Okay. And Frank, let's talk about the position that you play here, because looks like it's strictly on defense. So you have to be one of Coach Wicks's, as they would say, the pioneer in this program to really know that you're playing that solid linebacking spot. Talk about that.
I've been playing linebacker my whole football career since I was little, so it's just natural to me. I've always been one of the smallest at the position, but
Mhm.
I played it as hard as I can, and as smart as I can, the best that I can. So.
And Coach, let me ask Coach Wicks here because again, the same situation, Coach. Sometimes we've seen high schools where they're undermanned, sometime where they're not full roster size, and then we see players that have the hearts of giants. Physically, they may not be the 6'4", 6'5", 6'8".
Yes, sir.
But nonetheless, you put them in the same environment, and they're athletes.
Yes. Simba is one of those players that teams look at him, they look at his size, and they look at other linebackers, and they're going after number 5.
Okay.
And they're going to test him. But he's won every single test.
Okay.
And he's our versatile player. We move him all over the field. He's in the box. He's out of the box. We have him everywhere. I spend a lot of time with him because he is one of our leaders on our defense. He is the quarterback of the defense, him along with Cleo. And so he is an extension of me on the field.
Right.
So he has to know that game plan just like I do. And he's out there on the field calling everything as if I would if I was out there.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, come back to Frank here. And Frank, we were talking about the past, which was 2013, and also for the future, 2014. But I wanted to ask you, talk about 2013. Because that Carson game is going to lead to a bounce back. And your thoughts on that? What's preparing now for a new encounter possibly with Carson, or what did that loss mean to you guys?
Well, the 2013 season was it was something new. It was a new team moving up. It was a group of young guys. So it was us returners having to get used to the younger guys, and the younger guys getting used to the speed of the game and getting used to us older guys and seeing how it goes up there. But it was we had a great season. I loved that team I played with, and that Carson game it was really a shocker and an eye opener. I felt like that we had that game. That game we deserved it, and it was ours. And it's just that a game that was taken away from us, and it just gives us motivation throughout the off season, something to look forward to and bounce back and to prove everybody wrong because it's Garfield's been taken down by Carson in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And no, I plan to make that the last time I get taken down.
Okay.
Period.
Oh, okay.
So, you know,
All right.
so man,
The goal is set in stone.
So-
yeah, very clear in your objectives.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Frank, let's continue on now because you talked about the Classic right off the bat as one of the biggest impact on you as a player, but let's talk about what it's meant to you in terms of highlight career or career highlight.
Career highlight. I would have to say it would be leading the Classic in tackles for my sophomore year and the junior year.
Okay.
So that would have to be my highlight career.
Okay, and so you're just going to add on, and that number comes out to what? 14?
14
Okay.
my junior year and 12 my sophomore year.
Oh boy. And you can only increase that. So we need to look into the record books here, Coach. So next time we speak to Coach Hernandez, he'll have these answers. Now let's continue on now with some of the mentors, people that really have been critical in molding you and shaping you,
You know,
giving you that advice you need.
I would have to say it would be my father. My father's been there since I was born, and
Okay.
he always has and always will be. I know he will, and he has unconditional love for me,
Mm-hmm.
and he's been shaping me. You know, I give him a hard time at times, and
Yeah.
you know, I'm headaches at times, but he's shaping me to be a man and showing me right from wrong. And he's just always been there through my football career,
Sure.
in and out my football. And he's been there for my football career and out of my football career.
Okay.
And you know, he's been my biggest mentor and my biggest role model.
Well, you guys are certainly unified in your answers tonight because each and every one of you gave your father as one of the biggest influencers. And all we can say to that is right on, keep that going, and, you know, lots more positivity
Yes, sir.
with your family and through your father. Let's talk about also some of the athletic awards or the academic awards that you received.
Well, I plan to get academic awards my senior year. Hopefully, I get some scholarships.
Okay.
And this past season, I got second team All Eastern League
Okay.
for linebacker. So
All right. Okay. And then moving into the future, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, what you might see for yourself in 2015, where you might be going to college.
I'm hoping I get looked at from, and it doesn't matter where, as long as I, you know, someone offers to pay for school, it doesn't matter. Education is the first thing. You know, education comes first. So as long as the education's there, I'm going.
And you want to maintain that really high GPA.
Yes, sir. I plan to leave Garfield with a 4.0 and get to college and graduate with a master's degree.
Okay. All right. Speaking with Frank Saucedo, he's going to be playing that linebacker. I want to say, Coach, that the middle linebacker or in the zone or the defense you guys.
No, he would not play. He can play middle linebacker,
Okay.
and in case of emergency, he can play it. I would prefer to have him more in space if I
Okay.
could.
On the outside.
More
then?
on the
Okay.
outside. Maybe on the slot receiver or something like that.
Okay.
But he is, you know, versus a base offense, he is in the box.
Okay.
But with the offenses these days, everybody's copying Oregon and spreading you out and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Then we have to spread stuff out along with
Okay.
that. We have to adjust to that.
All right, let's come back to Frank because Frank, this is the fun part here, where you're not, you know, a student, you're not a football player, you're just Frank and
Yes, sir.
relaxing with family and friends. Some of the favorites that I've asked your teammates, you know, football, watching TV or movies, music, anything like that.
Music, I'm really hip hop. I'm a hip hop guy.
Okay.
You know, that's what I get to on game days. I get into my zone.
All right,
You know, hip hop's one of my biggest things.
okay.
And
sure.
then movies, favorite movies, Friday, Remember the Titans,
Yes.
Friday Night Lights. And
Okay, sport movies
sport
are coming.
movies.
Yeah, okay. NFL draft, we saw that. That was pretty good too. Oh yeah, with Kevin Costner, that was really good. Players, let's talk about them.
Players, I would have to say Ray Lewis and Johnny Manziel. Ray
Okay.
Lewis, very inspirational, very motivated guy.
Sure.
And Johnny Manziel, he's not the biggest either.
Yeah.
So, and he plays his heart out and he does his thing on that field. So,
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And a pro team, anyone that you like, whether it's football or baseball or some other sport?
I don't really have a favorite football team,
Mhm.
but you know, I spread it around. I enjoy watching the sport. Period.
Okay.
I'm a big Lakers fan.
Ah.
Very big
Oh,
Lakers fan.
okay. All right. Big rebuilding year.
Oh, I know. Very. Kobe going
Okay.
down was a big Big loss for us.
Okay. All right, Frank, and we're going to come to the conclusion of our brief session with you. But, again, same opportunity to speak to the youngsters that are watching, whether they're Pop Warner, whether they're flag, whether they're from middle school or they're just learning the game. Maybe some neighbors that might see you here on the program. Any words of advice for them?
I would have to say grades. Grades as soon as you get into high school, not even before high school. That's what matters most. Get your work done. Get your work straight. Because once you have that, you will get to work your butt off for everything else. Sports.
Okay.
If you're the smallest guy out there, you have a heart of a guy that's 6'8".
Yeah.
Just work your butt off. Work as hard as you can and earn everything that's given to you.
Okay. Oh, forgot to mention, Frank, your favorite subjects. That's one area I want to make sure the viewers do know that you school subjects you like.
I would have to say it would be history and computer science.
Yes. Very good.
Very
Very good.
my
To the
favorite
future
subjects.
and technology we go. Okay, that will do it for the presentation and the introduction of our players. We're going to come right back with just a wrap-up very briefly here. We're going to have all the players come on, and we'll sign off at that point. So don't go away. We'll be back with the conclusion of this edition of East L.A. Sports Scene. Okay, here we go now. Wrapping things up, it's been Garfield Bulldog football that we've talked about here in this special edition of East LA Sports Scene. And to close things out, Coach Wicks, we want to ask you the grid or the schedule for next season. Can we quickly talk about that?
Yes, like I said before, we like to schedule a tough preseason, especially the first game. We want the offseason to mean something, so we schedule a tough team. We open up with San Clemente.
Okay.
We go there. Very talented team, very big team. The quarterback has just picked up his 11th scholarship offer from Oregon.
Okay.
Peyton Manning, even wears number 18, him, 6'5", 220.
Okay.
So we go there. There'll be a tough challenge off the bat. And then Edison comes to us, Huntington Beach Edison, another physical team that will come into our house this year. And then we have a city game against Washington High School.
Oh, okay.
And then we finish up with a very tough Venice team on the road at Venice. Yes.
Okay, and then into Eastern
And then we get
League.
into it. Yes, and then we
Okay.
get into our Eastern League play.
Okay. We want to certainly thank you, Coach James Wicks, for coming in,
Thank you.
bringing the players in. And Coach Wicks is defensive coordinator, assistant coach under Lorenzo Hernandez. Please convey our best to Coach Hernandez and tell him I'm going to book him for a future show.
I'll make sure he comes.
All right. That will do it. And I want to just personally thank Frank Saucedo,
Thank you, sir.
All City, Tyjon Delancy, All City Cleo Session. There he is. And Frankli Robles. Thank you. All are coming back, of course, except Tyjon. We wish him the best.
Yes, sir.
And, of course, to Garfield, Bulldog Nation, Coach, it's all yours. You're ready now to lead the charge.
Well, we want everybody out there, Bulldog Nation, and maybe some people that's not a part of Bulldog Nation to know what we're all about. And so we get a break every single day of what we're all about, and they know how to lead it. So go ahead, Simon, why don't you lead us in this break?
Okay.
Bring it in tight.
Family on three.
Now,
1, 2, 3.
family.
Okay. That will do it. Again, Bulldog Nation here representing themselves, the school, their parents, their family, and, of course, the community. We thank you for watching this edition of East LA Sports Scene. Our only reminder, stay healthy, you will be wealthy, and get into one of these physical activities, or whether you're in the gym or walking, whatever the course may be, or the bike ride, stay healthy. Get that exercise, get that workout in, and we will see you for many, many more years here on East LA Sports Scene. So for Eric Sarney, Rico Cabrera Sr., thanks for watching, and to the Bulldog Nation who came in tonight and represented. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon on our next program.